episode of Josh and Kelly.
We are out on my friend John's boat on the Sassafras River today, and it's actually a very busy day. You'll see from some of the footage, some of the drone footage, there's a lot of boats around, and they're moving, some of them. Some of them are really moving around. But this is actually John's charter boat, not his boat he uses for normal kind of everyday running around in the river, but this is his charter boat. We're just taking it out for a run, make sure everything is as it should be. Call this a sea trial, if you will. He's had a lot of work done, and he and I worked on a couple of things the other week as well. So yeah, we are out here on the water enjoying ourselves.
It's wonderful, beautiful. Different than being in the mountains. It's a nice change.
Yeah, it's a nice breeze when it's going, but it's a hot day. Very hot day. There's Captain John at work.
My day off attire.
Yeah, your day off attire. Here's Miss Kelly, sitting back here at the back of the boat, enjoying the breeze.
Can you hear me?
I don't know if they're going to be hearing any of this. I'm sitting on the engine cowling and it's loud. I mean, we're going full speed, picking up a nice wake here behind us. I mean, you could surf that wake. And here's a boat going, cruising right past us. Osprey nest here on the river, and it looks like the osprey is at home. All these boats and jet skis don't even seem to bother it. It's just sitting there perched up there like nothing. These jet skis are out here trying to jump the wake of all the boats. The boats go by creating a wake and they're trying to jump them. There's Captain John at the aft helm. There's some of the houses out here, right on the river. Beautiful, nice big houses. Another boat coming by us. This boat's coming right up behind us here. Why it's coming up so close behind us, I'm not quite sure. It is coming in close. Looks like there was another boat going past, so he came in behind us, and now he's going to go out and overtake us again. Big houses here along the river. Some of them, like this one, get their own big private beach there. This girl got up on her wakeboard. They're coming really close, right next to us. Riding that wake. There's a nice boat getting ready to come past us. Old sailboat. I don't know if you can see it, but out here, out there is the Chesapeake Bay, but we are not going any further out. We are turning around and heading back. All right, so Kelly's just going up here to the helm. We are now under her control. John's giving her expert advice. Kelly's driving the boat. Some more of these nice houses over here. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Kelly actually has her boater's license. So she can drive this boat, or she can drive my boat when I lived on a boat too. There's a lot of boaters out today though, as you can see, boats going everywhere. Those big houses in the background. Here we are. John is at the helm, coming into the slip here. We're getting back. It's this sign here, Captain John's Sassafras Adventures, if you want a riverboat cruise.
For reservations, please call 410-648-5935 and ask for Captain John. How was that props to advertise?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We got back from the boat trip yesterday and had other things going on. So we got to bed last night, and so it was it. We were out. So here we are. And last night
Back
was
in the van, our first night sleeping in the van in
being home.
3 weeks. It was
It's
so
nice to be home.
Minus one small item.
It was hot. It was hot. And
87 or 89 in here or something.
something that was warm, really, really warm. We had the fans going and all that. But this tells you how hot it was. Kelly slept naked.
You did not just say that.
Normally she is like even in warm weather she's got flannel PJs on, she's got the blanket and stuff on. Not the case last night. That's how hot it was. It was hot.
It was definitely one of the hottest sleeping experiences, and it's rare because even if it's hot, I like to have some sheet on me up.
Yeah. But no, not last
I'm
night.
destroyed now. I can't talk anymore.
And the other thing we did last night, was probably my mistake, is the fan right up here, which is the exhaust to pull the hot air out. For some reason it was off. I must have turned it off earlier when I had the air conditioning going and forgot. We didn't turn it back on, so we weren't actually sucking the hot air out, which made it a bit warmer than it would otherwise have been in here.
And I have this rule: if anything is wrong or isn't done right, it's always Josh's fault. He knows that, so of course it was his fault.
Just par for the course. It's all good. So it was a hot night, and yesterday we were supposed to get a delivery of an air conditioner, just a little one, like kind of the size of a bag or something like that, that we can use in here on those hot nights or hot days when Kelly's working, that kind of thing, so that we don't have to experience that extreme heat, especially with the humidity. Like this week, the forecast is like mid-90s and humid. So it's going to feel like you're wearing a wet blanket. So anyway, that was supposed to come yesterday, and I got this notification that they couldn't deliver it. They couldn't explain why. I called FedEx and said, why is it the case? They go, I don't know. We can't tell you why. The driver just couldn't deliver it, which I don't get. So anyways, I gave very, very specific instructions for the redelivery today. So we're going to head over there and check that out in a minute, and hopefully have an air conditioner that's going to keep us a little bit more sane in here in this East Coast summer heat, because it's not just the heat, it's the humidity, and you feel like you're dripping all the time. As the old saying goes, you have a shower on Monday and by Friday you're still not dry. You know what I mean? That humidity just kills you.
Never ordered the air conditioning before because our goal was always to travel and be at 70 and not always be in this type of heat.
To go away from the hot weather, yeah.
But certain circumstances have landed us here longer than we anticipated, so it was...
we have to combat it.
Yeah, and it was on sale. We had looked at them before, so it was, I don't know, $150 less than it normally is. And, so it's kind of exciting that we'll have it because as a backup, because we had to travel when we were out in Arizona. We had to sometimes leave places and travel for hours just to get to a better temperature. So it's just nice to know we have that as a backup if needed.
Yeah.
Just like we have such a good heating system in here to keep us comfortable when it's cold out.
Yeah. If you saw the video of Hoover Dam, you would have seen how hot it was, and it was hot. But it was a dry heat, but it was still hot, really, really hot for Kelly working. And we ended up that day traveling like 2 or 3 hours away from the Hoover Dam region to Flagstaff, and the temperature dropped like 40 degrees or something like that. It was a huge difference. But we could drive for 6 hours away from Delaware, and it's not going to change the temperature one bit. There's no hills here to go up to. It's all going to be hot. It's all going to be humid.
Not an East Coast thing you can do.
Yeah. So, air conditioner. So we bought one, and hopefully we'll go and get that today, and get it going. Good morning. We are in the middle of a bit of a heat wave. It was 102 yesterday and high humidity. And let me tell you, it felt like it. It's like wearing a wet blanket around all day. I've said it time and again, I can take the dry heat, but this wet heat, this humid heat is it's a killer. It's a killer. Anyway, because of that, we got ourselves a little portable air conditioner to try out here in the van. I'm going to show you that and talk about how it's going, because we did use it last night and it helped, but it's hard to tell because this heat is just so oppressive. I think even a huge air conditioner, even like a window unit or something like that, I think would be struggling with this heat. So it's really hard to tell. So this is the actual unit. You can see it's actually here on the kitchen counter. It's fairly big. So this is a like a hose for the hot air that comes back out of this air conditioning unit, and the cold air comes out here. But it's big. It's big, and it's heavy. It's about 35 pounds. So it's decent. Like, it's solid. And it does put out cold air, and which is great, but I don't know, it's meant for something smaller, I guess, than the van, because the van's big, even though this unit is pretty big. I think it's meant for something smaller. And by smaller, I mean, like, this is, I guess, advertised as a tent air conditioner, so the volume of air that it can cool, and the space that it can cool, is smaller. This van is probably at least double probably what it was designed to do, so there's a little bit of, I guess, of a struggle in that sense, to get it to cool appropriately. I mean, it does cool, but it doesn't have a huge impact. Now, when the temperatures are lower, that may be a different story. Like right now, 8 o'clock in the morning, it's 90 degrees. It's a hot, humid day already. And last night, like, it was still about 90 degrees, 10, 11 o'clock last night. So that's a lot of heat for this to try and overcome. And I'm looking forward, when this week is done, because Kelly's got some stuff on hopefully on Saturday, when this video comes out, we'll be heading north to, at least for a short time, to Maine. And I want to try this out up there, where it's not so oppressively hot, and maybe even not as humid, and to see how well that does here in the van. Because we did have it on last night, all night, and it helped. It helped keep the temperatures from didn't go up too much. But it was sitting here, where it is now, on the kitchen counter, and it was hard to feel it just back here on the bed. So we're talking, 8 feet away. It was hard to feel it. So it's meant for a smaller space, but we'll see how it goes when the temperature's not so big. But for now, that's what we're doing. We are going to, we're surviving. Like, Kelly is actually working, not in the van on these days. She's actually working in her son's apartment in the air conditioning with Sophie, because it's just oppressive out here. Oppressive. And I've had the van running with the air conditioner going full blast to try and keep the temperature down in here, because it's just so oppressive. And it's still 80 in here. This says it's 95 outside, and it's 80 in here. So yeah, that's hot. That is hot, especially when it's so humid. So I know I've said that a few times, but it's true. So anyways, we're going to see how this goes. We'll use it probably a couple of more nights this week, and see if it helps, or at least helps keep it from getting too hot in here. And then once we go north, we can get a much better idea of how well this does in those kind of temperatures, and then whether we keep it or not. Because at the moment, I'm just not sure. We did get it on sale, but it's an expensive unit, and if it's not really, really good, then it's too big of a unit, too much space to take up, and too power hungry for us to keep it. If it doesn't actually do what we need it to do, then we'll send it back. So we'll let you know, of course. Well, that's all we've got for you this week. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. And for those of you who are interested in supporting us even further than subscribing to our YouTube channel, our Patreon link will be in the description below. Until then, we'll see you out there.
Thanks for watching. See you out there.